Cultivating generals in Evony has always been a chore. It's one of the most poorly designed systems still in the game, and it hasn't received any tweaks to make it easier despite the abundance of generals and how important they are to gameplay. I've made Cultivation general videos in the past on how to get through the process, but since those videos have been made, the system has further deteriorated to be plagued with bugs that make a terrible experience even worse. Yesterday I spent hours cultivating Edward Teach, a fantastic siege general. As I worked my way through, I encountered the bugs and reflected on them for a while on what causes them and how players can bypass them until they are fixed. I even narrowed down how to fix the game code to completely resolve the issue. Yes, I'm even doing your job for you, Evony. If you're looking for how to cultivate effectively as well as tips and tricks, I'll link the cultivation guide in the video description and pinned comment. This video will be focused on navigating the bug-inundated cultivation process in the current day. The first major issue that I experienced was a graphical one which impacted my ability to cultivate generals. It was an issue that was only present in my S21 Galaxy, which has a slightly thinner screen. If you have a wider screen on your device, you will not experience this issue. When I moved from my phone to a computer emulator, the issue was gone. Take a quick glance at this screenshot. Nothing positive or negative in this attempt to cultivate, right? Take a closer look at the attack cultivation row. Attack is actually being increased by 3 while the others are unchanged. Throughout the entirety of cultivating Edward Teach, I received no information on whether my attack had a positive or negative change. I had to really stop and think about each individual cultivation since it didn't provide the usual feedback at the far right. Fortunately, it did show me the feedback for leadership, defense, and politics. What causes this issue is the text size formatting of the numbers. Notice how Edward Teach's base attack is 4 digits while the others are 3 digits. This means slightly less space within the row, resulting in the feedback being cut off and not appearing on the screen. There's an easy fix to this, Evony. Reduce the text size of the titles and numbers in this section to allow for more space. Reduce the padding between the general portrait and the titles, and the padding between the arrows splitting the original and new as well. Easy fix. You're welcome. If you're a player encountering this graphical issue, there's not much you can do on your end. You can either slug through it and really take the time to analyze the changes as you cultivate, which adds a lot of time to the process, or you can switch to another device with a slightly wider screen. Switching to an emulator helped me return that useful feedback back to my screen to speed up the process. The next issue is the biggest one. Every time your cultivation crosses a multiple of 100, you'll get a red Wi-Fi and no longer be able to cultivate. This will happen for any of the 4 stats and in both directions. If your leadership goes from 99 to 100, red Wi-Fi. 100 to 99, red Wi-Fi. Attack goes from 199 to 201, red Wi-Fi. It's just a never-ending circus of being kicked out of the system and having to get back in to continue. This does not happen if you are doing the mass gem cultivation, as that operates like a bulk change. It will only happen if you are doing single gem or gold cultivation. When the red Wi-Fi happens, you are forced to exit out of the cultivation screen. When you do, you'll notice that it's not even the same general anymore. Exit out once more, find your general in the list, and go back in. As a workaround for players to save some frustration, what you want to do is pay attention to those numbers. As soon as one of those numbers crosses a multiple of 100, either in the positive or negative direction, stop cultivating, leave the cultivation screen, and then go back in to continue. This will bypass the red Wi-Fi that locks you up and changes the cultivation general. Here's your fix, Evony developers. I'm fairly certain that the reason this is happening is because of your code that changes the price of cultivation when those thresholds are crossed. If you inspect the bit of programming, you'll find that it is updating to an incorrect document identification, which causes it to fail when further cultivation is attempted. That's also why it switches generals. It's something that is easily remedied with a little troubleshooting. Again, you're welcome. While you're at it, please, for the love of all that is good in this world, add a mass cultivation for gold. Cultivation is not fun. No one thinks it is. At least make it a bit less tedious for the players so they can play the game rather than spend half a day per general in this dinky cultivation system. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching, liking, and subscribing. Here's the cultivation guide for those of you that are looking for more information on how to cultivate effectively. Thank you so much for watching this video and supporting the channel. If you liked what you saw, please consider hitting the like button and checking out other videos on the Miser's Guide to Evony. I'll see you in the next video.